This podcast may contain swearing. If you don't like that, don't listen.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to Hallmark of Greatness, the podcast where we take your hand and lead you down the scenic coastal path of Hallmark and made-for-TV movies. I am Joe, and with me, as part of our all-new lineup, a woman whose hair is not a crash helmet, who would never have the Hamilton chin, and couldn't even contemplate changing herself for Vera Wang. It's Bernie.
Hello.
And our other new permanent host. She comes from a long line of possible architects who despise blueberries and love poo-poo. It's Katie.
It's all true. It's all true. Hello.
If you would like to keep up to date with us all at Hallmark of Greatness, you can follow us on Twitter at Hallmark of Great. That's all one word. Or we are on Instagram and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. How are we all? It's been a long time. Or it
Good.
feels good.
Yeah, it's been ages since our last one.
Well, yes, but now we should get back into the swing of this, and it'll all go back to being normal. This is going to be it going forward. All new music, all new jingles, same old shite. But we shall lead you in to this week's film. 2020's Love's a Second Chance.
I love that. I felt like some birds were going to come out and sing to me.
You build it up and then just like, don't let it go anywhere.
That's Hallmark.
Well, this film especially. Synopsis. My synopsis for Love's Second Chance, which I realise I should probably hand off to someone else, but here we are. Helen Love has always been a runner-up in everything in life, from her school's egg and spoon race to that time she tried to do a marathon but had to do a poo-poo at the side of the road, but was even beaten to that by Paula Radcliffe. She feels her life has never measured up to its full potential. A chance encounter with the mysterious and heavily scarred Chip Chance leads her on a whirlwind romance and property vandalism. As it turns out, Chip is actually Helen from the future, warning her about the dangers of, let's say, spray on deodorant. Starring Dean Cain and that last that was in The Mandalorian, but turned out to be a big knobhead.
Very thorough.
It's just, these are always so much better than the actual film. It just leads us into disappointment.
Well, the actual synopsis for this film, which is better than the film and 4 hours shorter. When Rose, a passionate fashion stylist in her 30s, living in New York, inherits her grandmother's vintage dress shop, she returns to her small hometown to take care of the store. As she's contemplating closing the store for good, she runs into her charming high school crush, Cole Murphy, who convinces her to restore the store and help people in need who can't afford new clothes. After hesitantly agreeing, the two friends reminisce about their old feelings and realise that the store is not the only thing that deserves a second chance. So does their love.
That's a long synopsis.
Yeah, I mean, it's no Tina Turner fights mutants in a post-Holocaust wasteland, but...
We'll get into this as well, but they never had a first love. She just fancied him and went to his football games.
She just perved on him, yeah.
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 It wasn't a second chance, it was a first chance to actually get with him. Her first chance.
I mean, I hated this so much.
I don't know.
If you want to get into it, let's go. We open, as we always do, with establishing shots of what appears to be San Francisco, but supposedly New York.
New York, yep.
With some funky music by Bobby Rose. That was the name of the guy who done the music. It said so. We're introduced to Rose, played by non-union Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yep.
And Lindsay Van Der Thien.
Was that her
Is she
name?
the influencer?
She's like the woman that couldn't be an influencer because she looks about 50. Right?
Yeah, she's very
Yeah.
old.
They have wheeled a load of school children in to put clothes on them.
Is it prom dresses?
I think it's, yeah.
Because then they want to take a bus out with prom dresses for the...
Well,
poor.
there's a
one
montage of them
lady's-
dressing these
one of
kids up.
The first of many montages.
Many montages. The song that is playing, there is a line that says, "Cloudly fuzzy, where is my mango?" I don't know what that
Ah,
means.
That's
Yeah.
fuzzy mango.
That's the song Love Obsessed, by the way. If you want to look it up yourself. All the posh kids leave, and then a poor kid comes in and is like,
Ah.
I had to get the bus because I'm poor.
And
And
then
she's
it
like,
just arrives, and
Yeah.
therefore you should bring the clothes to me on a bus. And they
well,
go,
no.
oh,
Then
such a
is
good
it
idea.
Rose and her assistant, I want to say Anna, are like, that's a great idea, kid. We should do
You're gonna
that.
steal that and not give you any
Not give
credit.
No credit. You'll stay poor forever.
And then they order a pizza that has no cheese on it.
Oh, I
And
didn't
they've not
notice
eaten
that.
any of it. They've just pushed it round the box.
Yeah. It's like, don't order it if you're not going to eat it. They
Get a
order
proper
another pizza later on and don't eat it again with no
Same.
cheese on.
Same one. It's a stunt pizza. Yeah, right. Them children have been there all day trying dresses on. That seems cruel and unusual to me.
What teenage girls like doing, isn't it? Trying things on.
And prom's a big thing in
semi-celebrity.
America.
Yeah, I guess. She claims to be 30-something. And then they're eating this pizza. And it turns out that she used to work for Vera Wang.
Connection.
It's the Wang Clang, I'm calling it. Anytime Wang gets dropped. See, it all links together. Lindsay wants to create some sort of dress subscription service.
They have those. That's the thing.
Is it?
Yeah, you can. There's one called Stitch Fix. There's another one called something else.
Yeah.
And you can just be like, these are the types of clothes I like, and then they'll send you them, and you have to pay for them. But I don't.
Like a box of clothes a month.
Instead of just ordering online for yourself.
Or just go and get things that
or
you
clothes in
like.
the shop, yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
a
bit
thing.
weird. But
It's like a Gusto box of clothes.
I get to pick what I want in my Gusto box. No tofu. Too much tofu. Tofu 3 times in a week. That's too much for anyone. I know, I just don't like. Just go and buy a t-shirt or some pants. Anyway, it's probably not for me, is it?
Not the target audience.
No. They claim that this is it Fashion Up, her company's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the next logical step for them. But Rose is hesitant to do it, and Lindsay sort of bullies her into it a little bit.
Is this the first mention of grant proposal?
Oh my God. Right. If you want to play a drinking game to get you through this film, anytime, because it'll make it go fast, but you'll be dead in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to get through it, but you'll enjoy it a bit more.
Anytime someone says grant proposal, have a drink. Anytime someone mentions lists, drink
Yeah,
for
10
2
rounds.
seconds. Yeah. Anytime like they should kiss or anything, that'll get you through the back half of the film, right? Anytime they go to a pointless function for no reason, finish your drink, right? That should see you through it. I would recommend beer and not spirits for that film. Because, yeah, she's like, we have to film this grant proposal to get the grant from the grant proposal committee, which is run by Grant Proposal, I believe.
Yep.
That was his name.
And semi-celebrity ladies on the grant proposal
Committee. Yeah. And I was just like,
So
God.
that's how she bullies him into it. She goes, bit of tit for tat. You give me the grant proposal for your grant proposal, and I will, and you have to do me a business plan for this new thing that you don't want to do, but you still have to do it.
Right. There's a lot of PowerPoint later on. The same 4 slides they keep showing over and over. And she's like, well, unfortunately, I have to go to St. Helens, which is in Wigan, to get her grandmother's shop ready to sell.
Yes.
We find out that also her family own and run a bakery. So this is like ticking boxes of Hallmark lists of things. This feels very much like James's Hallmark random generator. Her brother is a firefighter. Tick.
Brother
And
and dad. Yeah.
Oh, a dad one as well.
Dad's a retired
retired.
firefighter, but he's now a handyman. Tick. Yep. You see.
Her assistant or partner or whatever, Anna, fancies her brother.
Oh, you've cleaned up
Yeah.
since you became a firefighter, said the cliche.
Yeah.
Said looking at
Cliche
his
machine.
muscles.
They're all working this thing, and like someone else who works in the bakery is pregnant, and that's a big thing apparently.
Yes.
He's a volunteer handyman. And then
Yeah,
I
I've
was like,
written that dad does dad things. That's what
yes,
dad
he's
does.
got a tidy beard and doesn't really appear in this film.
I wrote that firefighting pays really well where they live in St. Helens because he's got grandma's house, which is fucking massive.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
is she rattling around in that on her own?
Well, she did, so.
Well, yes, she was. But yeah, that house is like Carlton back. It's like Uncle Phil's house in The Fresh Prince.
It's
It's
huge.
massive.
I mean, he's just going to live there on his own at first. He just bought.
I reckon that's why Anna was like, "Oh, you've cleaned up." She's seen
You've
that
cleaned up
house, and
'cause-
she's like, "I'm getting half of that in a divorce.
Them
Yeah.
views.
I'm prepared to let him throw it up me if I get half of that."
But he got that house and she got this
The shop.
I'd rather have the house.
But she owned the house and the shop, so she must have been coining it in, or had like I don't know.
I think
It
it's
was
one
just-
of those things where she'd always sucked up to her grandmother in the hope to get the house, but then the grandmother was like, "Oh, I know how much you love the shop, so I'll give you the shop."
Something
No!
where you're really nice to them, hoping to get the house, and then they give you a pot horse when they die.
You always liked this, didn't you?
Oh, Christ, great. Hope it's worth something. I'm cashing the attic. I was really hoping that Grandma's store was like a sex shop or sold Nazi paraphernalia or
You
something.
just were like opening cupboards, like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, but nope. It just sells old clothes. It looked like a fancy dress shop to me.
Yeah. At
Uh,
which point, love interest just walks through an
He
open
just,
shop door.
just walks in.
Oh, it was open, so I thought I'd come in and touch everything.
Yeah, get out, burglar.
That's just weird.
And then do we see the hideous silver van? What the frig is that van?
It looks like a fancy dress. We go into Grandma's house first, and she goes, "Oh, I wouldn't use those paints." And what's he called? Is he Rich, her brother, is
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll listen to you." And I'm like, putting clothes on people doesn't mean you're an interior designer. I wouldn't listen to you.
No, and also redecorating in this house or refurbishing this house just means put dust cloths over things and then later take them off, and then it's done.
I'm fairly sure it's the same
It's the same.
interior shots they use for every Hallmark film.
I've just thought she's telling him what colour to paint it, so when she snatches it out from under him, it's already
Yes.
decorated in the colour she wants.
When she gets Anna to kill him, saying that he domestically abused her or something. Yeah. It's just, Rich and Rose sitting on the back porch talking about the old days, drinking mojitos. I thought they were. They're not. It's lemonade, isn't it? But I was like, get caned.
You need to
and then-
relax, you weirdo.
yeah. Then we find this big silver traveling sex dungeon
It's bloody horrible.
on the drive that just appears.
It's
Dad-
horrible at the end as well.
It looks like a fancier sex dungeon on wheels.
But this is
Dad-
it. She's got the bus to transfer the dresses to the poor people.
Well, this is before that. Dad is fixing the sink, and he pops up, says, "Oh, that Nana Rose bought that." Disappears until he's needed later on for no reason. And they go outside, have a look at it, and then her and Anna have the great thing of, "This is what we can use to transport vintage clothing to poor people."
Yeah, communities in need of fashion.
Of prom dresses.
I mean, it's a noble endeavor, like to make people feel nice even for one
Yeah,
day.
she does kind of explain it a bit later, doesn't she?
But I don't know. If I was Grant Proposal, I'd be like, I think that one that's providing food to poor people is more worthwhile than you giving some knockoff Vera Wangs to people.
Well, I just wrote there, Christ, how many times has she mentioned grant proposal?
I think I lost. This is when I texted you. I've lost count because we're in the 20s at this point, and I've dropped my pen and couldn't be arsed picking it up. Cole fixes vintage cars because, of course, he fucking does. And Rich goes to see him and says, "Look, you're the only one that can help." And he's like, "Yeah, but I've got an actual job to do. Like, I need to make money." And he's like, "Oh, go on." And then Cole goes, "Okay, then."
Yeah, we're not paying you for it or anything, so
He goes to see Rose and says to her, "I'll help you with this, but you need to help me with this." No, he doesn't. He says, "But you have to get involved. You have to get your hands dirty, blah, blah, blah." And she's like, yeah, whatever. I'll be
There with bells on.
I'll be here at 7 a.m. with bells on.
Yeah.
Is that a phrase?
I'll be there with bells on. Yeah,
Is it? It feels wrong.
be there with bells
It
on. Yeah,
just-
it's like you're really happy and I don't know.
It sort of is, but it's like the whole movie is just, it's like they're having two separate conversations of just saying cliches at each other. Like they're not,
Yes.
they're not actually interacting. They're both just really dull cliche people.
There's no chemistry between them.
Well,
in
she's
this.
supposed to be sort of your Monica Geller, sort of fun but anal,
Yes.
lovable
she's supposed-
weirdo. But she's just boring. Like
It-
when he turns up the next day, he goes, "I've been waiting 15 minutes." Well, fuck you. I'm doing you a favour, you bitch.
Yeah. Basically.
I I'd be like, well, I'm not turning up at all next time then. Wait,
we're introduced to the best thing in this film, Took the dog.
Yay!
Who is great. They go to the hardware store. They fuck about in there for a bit. She's like, oh, those tiny set of ladders are cute. And he's like, what are you going to need them for?
Yep, he's very sensible.
Yeah, well, this was the thing I didn't understand, right? Because later on, she says like, oh, he's so immature and stuff. And I'm like, he's not really. He's just trying to make like a job fun.
Yeah.
Whereas you're negative Jones. They've put loads of stuff into the back of the van.
And start arguing about how it's been loaded. It's all wrong.
But she's not doing anything. She's just moving one box up and down.
It's the pizza again. She just keeps moving things around
Yeah.
the edges.
And then, as to celebrate doing minimum amount of work for the day, they go and have pizza.
Without cheese.
And Cole says,
yes,
it's impossible to get good pizza in Britain. And I was like, fuck your mouth, Cole. Pronto Pizza, Juniper and Vine, Crazy Pedro's, Rudy, Bella Lasagna's Pizzeria, possibly. Those are just the ones near me, and a fictional one in the town of Pontypandy.
Americans are the ones with shit pizza. They don't know what they've got. Their like really thick, disgusting.
It depends where you go, because like Chicago has the deep one. I think like Wisconsin's one is just horrible. But yeah,
don't justify this. If they're going to tell me with the same brush, I'm going to.
That's it. Yeah.
Is it Alfredo's Pizza or Pizza by Alfredo?
One is a hot circle of garbage. But yeah, and I was like, they don't even eat it anyway. So shut up.
I was like, theirs is really shit, it's all thin, it'll be dry. Really got my back up that one.
It's the stunt pizza from before, filmed 2 days after each other. So it'll keep.
But Cole really hates that Rose is organised. He just hates it.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
All she does is write a list. She's not that organised.
Yeah.
She's organised at writing lists.
They go on early on that like she laminates things and has folders and stuff, but she doesn't really. She just, which is a good way to organise yourself, is to write a things to do today list, because I forget stuff constantly. And
yeah, but you don't have to do it.
Yeah, well, I made the list. That's enough.
Exactly. I make lists. I never do it.
They make that her whole personality.
Yeah, and she doesn't fulfill it. It just annoys me because he isn't like, he's not an idiot. He's not going around forgetting. Well, he does forget to do stuff, but he's competent at his job. He's happy in his job. He's helping her out, and she does now, but like treat him like shit. Basically, I don't know. We cut to Little Charlie Chino, which is what I started calling Rich, because he's got them Chino slacks on for the rest of the film now. Gets it on with Anna.
What's that really awkward scene where she's like stood in the background?
He goes, oh, I think she's really cool and neat.
She's
and
so funny, she's so smart.
And she's like, oh, and she's right here. And then I went, for a fashion lady, why is Rose dressed like Pat Butcher? She's got like a load of leopard skin on. It's like Bette Gilroy.
I thought that for a stylist, she wears jeans and a nice top a lot.
Oh, in that last bit, she's got like a lace thing on, like she's come out of a swamp to haunt someone. We get another Wang Clang as well at this point. When I worked for Vera, and I was like, well, you don't anymore, do you? No. And they decide that they have to go. They go and do this thing where they listen to the camper.
Yeah, he starts hugging it. And this is where I wrote, I'm bored.
Oh, I'm not far behind you, to be honest. And he's like, oh, it says we have to. She's like, if we do the outside first and the inside, that's more efficient. It really isn't, is it? Because you'll be hefting stuff in and out, it'll get all dusty again. So she's trying to rip this carpet up, but she's kneeling on it. So like,
it's not going to work, is it?
No, it's not. They have a fall over and they go to buy some wood, and we learn some hot facts about cedar.
That moths are the sorry, start again. That it
You're too excited with your hot moth facts.
Moths are the natural nemesis of clothes, is what we learned.
Yep. Not fire, not nails.
The nemesis as well.
But that's why David Rose makes a cedar chest for his
Yes.
What's it called? That expensive wool stuff. Oh my god.
Angora.
Yeah,
Angora.
Because moths are
the natural
villain,
nemesis.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess they're natural and fire is like man-made. I don't know. I
don't think they thought about it that much.
But I'm pretty sure fire can destroy clothes as well,
that's what
not
I
just
said.
moths.
I keep catching mine on the door handle. because I need to fix it.
Door handles are the natural
In my house, more so than moths. Most
Especially
of my
when you're
clothes.
mad. When you're mad and you walk past, like, for God's sake, and you stuck on a
Yes.
door handle.
I catch my belt loop on it a lot. I go, also, most of my clothes are nylon, so moths would have a day trying to get through those.
Is it such a thing in this country? I feel like it's an American TV thing that moths are in wardrobes a lot.
Yeah, I remember mothballs being a thing as a child, like little balls that smell bad, as opposed to all balls. But you'd put them in your cupboards and stuff, and it would deter moths from coming in and
I thought
munching
they were
on you.
just, maybe.
I think it's when people wore more like wool and stuff.
Not
I
Primark
don't know.
crap
Yeah,
stuff. So
not
everyone gets nowadays.
poly blends. Yeah, this is where she starts talking about him being immature. And I'm like, he's not really. He's just having fun with his job, which is the best you can hope for, isn't it?
But she's enjoying it anyway. They have that little water fight, and it's part of the sort of next montage of them doing busy
Cole's like,
renovating work.
I'm talking to my dog. And I was like, Cole, I talk to dog all the time. I
Who
answer
else do you
back
talk to?
as the dog a lot. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Like in Frozen with the reindeer.
Cole shows up wearing a very mustard shirt. Coleman's mustard, I've wrote.
Is this the trust exercise?
And this is the trust exercise.
She how is this a trust exercise?
She won't do goat yoga, which apparently is a thing where you do yoga
is.
and baby goats jump on you.
There's
And
there's one in Ramsbottom.
I might have a day out for that.
I
Let
would
some-
do that.
Let some baby goats jump on me. Sounds delicious. And then they do this fucking tandem bike ride.
I think tandem bike ride just leads to mistrust. Because if I was at the front, I'd be like, I would immediately mistrust the person behind me who was pulling their weight. And if I was at the back, I wouldn't be pulling my weight.
Well, I mean, you've just told on yourself there.
I know. Never go on a tandem with me because
No, but like they don't look comfortable. The person behind's got to stare at the person in front's ass. Like they're not enjoying the view, are they? And yeah.
love.
Are they though? Are they? There's another shite song with the chorus. My heart goes ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Because I'm running upstairs.
It's something like yeah. I didn't understand what that was like. Supposedly their sort of I won't say meet cute, but yeah.
I don't know. I've just wrote 60 minutes left to go. Christ.
Yes. They said to test the camper out by feeding clothes to it or something. I didn't understand. The next morning, he hands her some coffee, and she turns into a ghost and goes, "Ooh!"
I noticed that as well.
They're painting all the inside stuff. She pulls that rug down from the ceiling, and I was disappointed that it wasn't full of like dead moths or
just like
pornos or something.
And then you see it up again later.
I think we decided to keep it for vintage.
My biggest peeve to this is he brings a load of shelves in but doesn't secure them. So if you turned a corner, them
Rattling
shelves are
around.
going poof.
Yeah.
And I was just like, why has he not secured them?
I don't know what his expertise was needed for this. They literally just pulled some up and then pulled some carpet up and then just cleaned it from the look of it and put some stuff in.
He does do a bit of tinkering underneath, doesn't he, in a bit?
Yeah, I guess so. And they talk about the axles and waxing or whatever
Yeah.
you do to axles.
They have a low
Can't
energy splash fight, and then she salutes the unfurling of the
Yeah.
marquee
What does
for
that
some
mean?
reason, which I don't know. I think that's a crime in America, isn't it? There is still an hour to go at this point in a 90-minute film, right? Just so you know, this is the first 30 minutes. My notes drop off massively.
Yeah, mine does. I
at
was
this
going to say,
point.
I've done 2 pages up to here and now I've got 1 page left for this last hour.
Little Charlie Chinos and Anna are going to go for tacos, but they decide not to. Because
they have another idea.
They have
something,
another
don't they?
idea about this fucking thing. I don't know.
Oh, is it-
Something happens to the shop, and it turns out there's a loading bay at the back that he could use as a garage to work with. They're fixing the hubcaps of the camper, and it gets a bit sexy at this point because she says, "Oh, maybe I can squeeze you in, grease my axles, things like that." Nothing happens. That's the sexy as it gets. And then a whole other film happens. We wander into a baking film.
Yeah, so they're both out jogging in the middle of the night, aren't they? And they run past each other and go,
Yeah.
Rose?
And
And then have the most fucking boring conversation about milk. And then they
They
go and
break
make
into
cookies.
Mum's bakery and make 8 cookies. 8 cookies.
she burns herself, so he has to hold her hand in a romantic way. They do a kind of ghost cooking cleaning where they kind of have the arms round. They knead the dough together. It's all very romantic, but not at the same time.
It was the bit that annoyed me most was that Rose was out running at night with headphones in, and I was like, nope. Sadly, women aren't allowed to do that.
No.
Oh, see, I was more annoyed that when Mum came in, and I thought, I'm glad she's annoyed because she's got health and safety now. She's going to have to clean that whole kitchen from top to bottom now.
Fuck this film into the shadow realm. Oh, now they're comparing scars.
Oh, yeah, it's competition, isn't it?
Competition, and he's like, and then we're just over the halfway point of the film here, folks. Things have happened, apparently. I don't know what happens now. Loads of stuff happens, but it's just them talking.
She does that. You see that scene where she's like looking at his photos just on her own, just staring at his photos on the phone. And then her friend walks in and is like, "That's a good shot, isn't it?" She's like, "No, shut up, Mom." So I don't know where she got all these photos from.
He's just been secretly taking them.
Look over there.
Just in case we can get on. They go to like a film night at the fire station.
I just wrote, what is this fucking shit? What is it?
Well, it was interesting as well because I noticed that it said, you had to bring your own chair, but you can sit on one of our many identical chairs that everyone else apparently brought from home, but we all had a meeting about what type of chair we were bringing.
Well, she doesn't bring one, but she brings some donuts.
Which is better.
He then puts a blanket over her, puts a little hole in his popcorn box and pops his little chap through.
Don't work because no one eats the popcorn either.
Also, if I'm getting popcorn, something that's this big, like the size of a Terry's chocolate orange, is going to last me 30 seconds.
One handful.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you need some because it doesn't make it to your mouth.
Oh, it ends up down your top and everything. Yeah, that's the best bit. They're watching a Charlie Chaplin film and laughing like they've had electroshock therapy.
Laughing so that the popcorn goes everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And the pregnant woman's like, "Oh, my baby could have been shocked out of that." They walk home. He walks her home. And she goes, right, this was the bit, again, like, they talk about when they were in school. You're 30 odd at this point, right? So your school years are a good 20 years behind you. Get over it. But turns out that she says, my dad used to come to the practices and watch me. And she goes, "Oh, yeah, I know." And he's like, "Hang on, how did you know? Unless you were there." And then she just goes, does a weird leg thing and walks up the path. But then does that thing like teenagers do in films where she shuts the door and collapses behind it like that. And I was like, you're 37.
She's getting older and older. The next bit I've just wrote, even the dog doesn't want to be in this film. So I don't know what the dog does.
It probably just
mooches off.
There's that bridge somewhere where dogs keep throwing themselves off. It's probably that. Her brother's like, "Oh, why are you so sweaty?" And she's like, "'Cause I've just walked home." I'm like, "Do you live on the top of a hill?" No. There's some sort of material dilemma. And they have
he
to
wants a gender neutral one, doesn't he? And then this is when they start doing that thing where they so this example I've written is she goes, "Do you like me? I mean, these fabrics." And she does a few of them, doesn't she?
Yeah, and it's the same one over and over again. And at that point,
everything I've been looking for. I mean, it's everything you've been looking for.
And I was like, "Oh, get out of the way."
It's disgusting.
They have a late night barbecue, which is a normal thing to do apparently.
And everyone brings fried chicken.
Yep.
Oh, which I wouldn't have mind.
No, I'd have been happy with that. There is 30 minutes left at this point.
I've not got any more notes.
This is the countdown of the film. It's just me going, "There's only 10 minutes left now." I hope there's a giant spider attack or a volcano erupts just so this film ends.
No, they start playing some weird lawn game on paving stones.
Oh yeah, next montage, isn't it, of the different games?
That's a different party. Because before that, they're doing a more presentationing, and Anna says, "You always say everything matters," and at no point in this film has she ever said everything matters. I've never heard say that. Then there's the fucking party. Cole shows up wearing a cardigan, and she's like, "Oh, the clothes do make the man." He's put a fucking cardigan on, love.
Chilly.
He looks the same.
Yeah,
he didn't dress badly anyway.
No, he's got jeans and a t-shirt on, and he's just put a cardigan on it, so he looks a bit more like her dad now, which is weird.
But he makes a weird comment earlier about it. He's like, "I always saw clothes as a means to an end." What does that mean?
If it was up to Cole, everyone would be in the nude, I guess. Walking around St. Helens. Someone has rubbed a pub beer garden, and there's a giant Connect 4 over there, probably.
Yep.
Giant Connect 4 Jenga.
They play Jenga, and he cheats because he's using 2 hands as well, which you're not allowed
And
to
then
do.
he's still shit.
He's shit as well.
Because he's got no discipline. That's his problem.
Why is this film still going on? And then this happens, right? She leaves. She gets a phone call from Lindsay saying, right, we've seen the proposal thing, the grant proposal. You need to come and do the grant proposal for
In
grant
front
proposal.
of grant proposal, yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, okay, well, I'm going to leave. But you need to do some paperwork, Cole, to get the bank to give you the money to rent this garage off me. And he's like, okay, yeah, I will do. And he doesn't. She's driving away. Her dad phones and says, you've got to come back because Cole's a dickhead. And I missed what he did.
He didn't sign it over, so he left the light on and there was a small fire. And then it said apparently for the insurance, the owner has to be on site. So she had to turn around and miss her grant proposal meeting.
Right.
And go back and be on site, otherwise the insurance wouldn't pay out or some shit. Which I don't think's a thing. Is that a thing?
American insurance is probably mental. If you know American insurance people, get in touch. Everyone is very sad now. Lindsay phones her up and he's like, you shithouse. You've made me look a right muggy. And
Everything
she's like,
I thought about you is gone.
Let me, that's the only let me explain is this one. Let me explain. My grandma's shop nearly caught fire a little bit. Right, okay. Well, Grant Proposal wants none of this now. He's gone off to give it to prostitute dogs or something. I'm even more bored now.
Yeah.
Cole goes to try and explain to her while she's just folding a piece of lace over and over and over again.
Well, it takes the full film to pack up a Nan's shop, and it's still not done.
Nope, she was doing that proposal for Grant, which is a waste of time now, isn't it?
Moving one box around.
She was carrying like tiny crates around with her. Put it all in. Get a jack. Get a sack lift,
big
mate.
Crates, Rose.
Yeah, dick. Cole comes to explain and he's like, I'm really sorry, I forgot to turn the light off. And she's like, it's not about that. You didn't do the paperwork and I told you to do it and you're unorganized. And he's like, yeah, all right, I am. I'm sorry. What more do you want? Like, where do we go from here? And she's like, no, you had your chance and you blew it. And he went, okay, bye. And then he goes off. He's sitting at home talking to Took on his porch. And, the pregnant lady's husband?
Which is his brother,
who is like, oh, I'm going to drink a beer in the garage away from my wife because she's trying to keep me alive longer. What a monster. And he's like, oh, don't let it go. Go and put right what once went wrong. And he's like, okay. He disappears. They're at some sort of fucking fate or something.
Now it's a street fair, and this is the bit that confused me more than anything. So she couldn't go and do the grant proposal because she wouldn't make it there and back to the street fair in time. But Cole has made it to Lindsay, the influencer, and got back. So why couldn't she have done that for the grant proposal?
Was she not dragging the trailer? And are you not limited to like 60 miles an hour with the trailer?
No.
I think she tried to get a flight, didn't she?
She was going to leave Anna at the street fair with the thing.
Yeah, I think she was going to the airport and she'd missed the last flight.
But he drove up there, so why couldn't she drive up there?
He drove there and back in a day in a very old pickup truck.
So why couldn't she do that? Do the proposal, and then it just didn't make any sense.
She's just lazy. Lazy biffer.
If I can't go business class, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Because then Lindsay turns up at the street fair and says that stupid glitz, gloss and glamour.
Glitz, gloss and glamour. That's what I do as a 90-year-old woman. I hope Cole crashes the truck into them all like Death Race 2000. No, he just shows up when they're inside because Lindsay agrees to fund them for the first year using her influencer money, ? And then they go inside where people are selling.
She's been to business school. That's her thing, isn't it? I'm a graduate of such a business school.
All right, love. Yeah. They go inside the bric-a-brac stall where someone's selling some candlesticks. And Cole shows up, walks through the room, and he's not got a suit on. He's got like a t-shirt with a sports jacket over it, with a blazer over it. Yeah. He's not got a full suit on.
Smart cash.
He's got jeans on and slip-on shoes as well. He's a menace. It's all over the place. He comes over and he's like, I'm sorry I nearly burnt your grandma's shop down. And she's like, it's all right. It's all turned out for the best, hasn't it? They do a kiss. The film ends.
And we go, hooray, it's done.
We'll go back to our lives.
Now, if I was in charge of this film, I would have cut it down to a solid 50 minutes and it would have been a good film.
I had a
Right.
completely different cast.
There would have been more
Different
it.
story.
car chases. Snipers
But
when they're
it'd
on
be
that
good.
tandem bike. I'm giving this 2 out of 10 because there was a dog in it, which I like, and that was about it. There was nothing with it. It was so long and so boring.
Yeah, if
Wait,
it weren't for the dog, it would have been lower.
Well, I gave 2 out of 10 last week, and you did tell me that was a low bar to start with.
I
so
said
you were
this
right.
to you, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's lower. But
You could do-
I don't
you
know,
could do
it didn't anger
decimals.
me as much as last week. Last week's film angered me, whereas
Okay.
this one just bored me.
Yeah.
Which is
Which
worse.
is a
At least it made me
worse,
feel
yeah.
something.
It just went
Um,
on.
I'm going to have to give it 1.5.
Okay.
Oh, brutal, aren't you? 1.9.
Okay. So I need to get the old score sheet off Anthony and add the new ones onto it. The next generation that this is, the 2.0 that we have become. It's just, don't watch this.
Don't.
It's bad. Even on like 1.5 speed that I was watching it on, it still felt like
90 minutes of hell.
it still felt like watching it in real time. It's so boring. Are you ready, Katie?
Yes.
That's the jingle for Katie's facts.
Excellent.
I use that every time I enter any room now. It just sums me up so well.
I got whiplash from just like dancing too hard.
Yeah. So my facts. Okay, so we'll start off with the people. So Cole is arguably the most famous. He was played by Cody Ray Thompson, and he's had a role in Umbrella Academy.
Is he?
Not a big one.
Oh, I was gonna say.
He was some sort of like ticket inspector or something like that, but yeah, he was. And the Rose was played by Gabrielle Christian, and she is best known. So I don't know if you want to watch this in your in nighttime. I don't remember what this is, the other one that James is in.
Last Orders.
Last Orders.
In nighttime.
Nighttime Hallmark. She was in a film called Jersey Shore Shark Attack, and she was one of the main characters in that. So
I don't know that.
she was one of the characters in South of Nowhere, which made it sound like I should know that, but I don't know that. And then I noticed as well the dad is I can't read my own handwriting here, but it's Roark Critchlow. So he's a Hallmark dad, as we could have tell anyway. But he was also in a film called Meet the Santas. And I don't know if you want to guess what other films were being made at the similar time to that one in 2005.
I mean, it is coming up to half Christmas soon. So if we can find Meet the Santas,
Meet the Santas.
add it to the list and we will get it done.
Yeah. So then my other facts. I was quite taken by the landscape. So it was created in Canada,
Of
in
course.
Lawana. I don't know if I've only read that word. And that was very nice. But the thing that shocked me, the whole thing was filmed in 12 days. And
That shocked you. I'm impressed it took that long.
well, the average one is it usually takes 1 to 3 months to film a film.
Oh,
So
for
I
like a
thought that was-
Hollywood film? Yeah, it's not this.
No,
Not
right.
Hallmark. Hallmark you get at most about 3 weeks.
12 days is fast though. And then the original title of the film is Vintage Hearts. Did anyone notice that in the film?
Yes, that's the name of her grandma's shop.
It is, yeah. So
Yes.
that was the original
Which
name.
would have been a better name for it.
I agree.
Is it? Because they
They
were never
loved Second Chance because they were never first lovers.
vintage hearts.
Well, they're old.
She's 30 odd, yeah, she's vintage.
40 now. Time this has gone on. I did look her up. She was
After
born
watching
in
this film.
1984, so she's technically younger than me. So I've got no room to comment.
That's my facts.
That's fine.
Get an outro.
No, maybe there will be a musical bed under this, which I think is quite as aggressive as that. I can't remember what I put on it. Marley, your new music. There you go. We should salute that.
In the beginning, there was Hallmark. There was a salad. There was a pizza.
Ah, mate, big pizza.
Big pizza with no cheese on. Right, I've done a good one and a bad one.
Okay.
We've got movieguide.org, which is the other one to duck.org.
Is that the -4 +4?
Yeah.
Yes, boy.
So do you want to guess what this one was?
Right.
Can't be more than one.
+4 is like saintly. -4 is like
Satan's.
the devil in Miss
Yeah.
Rose or whatever it's called. I'm going to say
Hero.
this is a 2 because there is cleavage and unaccompanied bike riding.
Running at night.
Oh yeah, unaccompanied ladies.
And
jogging.
breaking into a shop. That's pretty bad.
She's got the keys. It's family keys. I want to guess 2.
You are correct. It is a +2. Light language, few OMG exclamations, no sex, nudity, or violence,
Oh, interesting.
or interest at all. So, Love Second Chance is enjoyable with some funny moments. It also has a strong moral worldview about helping others with some redemptive elements. For example, when a few characters make mistakes, forgiveness is emphasized. Also, Rose and her family are tight-knit, and the movie stresses the importance of doing the right thing, love and helping others.
Fair enough.
She only forgives him once he's done something for her.
I think she would have forgiven him anyway. She was hot for him. She used to lurk around, didn't she? She used to be the creep. She used to hide in his
Yeah,
locker,
cool.
spying on him like that. Taking pictures secretly and then hiding him when her friend comes in.
And then just looking at them randomly, yeah.
Like that. Sighing.
But my usual cohort of reviewers didn't like this.
Oh,
So Garabin4 reviewed this in 2020 and gave it a 1 out of 10.
that's harsh, Garabin.
My mum loves Hallmark movies, but even she hates this.
Oh, Garabin's mum.
My mum watches Hallmark all day, every day, and yet even she couldn't get through this whole movie. By the halfway mark, the only thing keeping us watching was roasting it to death. The acting is so awkward to the point where some scenes feel unbearable to watch because it's just so cringy. The plot is even more contrived than your typical Hallmark movie. Would not recommend unless you like bad movies.
I mean, he's right. I like the fact that him and his mum sit there and watch them. That's nice.
That is nice.
That's nice. I feel sorry for his mum who sits there and watches them all day. Is she under house arrest?
All day, every day.
Yeah, has she committed a crime? Is this like some sort of Dante's Inferno level of punishment, ironic punishment, where she has to watch them forever? Oh,
She might just really like Hallmark films.
I know, but there's other things, isn't there? You know,
Just going outside.
there's touching grass.
All day, every day. I need a way tough.
You could dash out during the adverts to make a pot noodle and come running back in case you missed the hot plot.
But yeah, they'll have adverts, won't they? On well,
They do.
everything-
If you watch the sketchy ones on YouTube, there's fade outs and fade ins where the adverts are. Yeah.
Is there not a Hallmark channel? Does that not have
There
it?
is also a Hallmark channel. We can get it on Prime, but it's like £5 extra a month that I don't really want to pay. When you can find them elsewhere, not that we
Yeah.
do that.
If Meet the Santas is on it, I'll buy it.
Yeah, but we all have to watch it. That's the thing.
So
I'm just gonna find Meet the Santas now. No, yeah. Is that all of it?
yeah,
Okay.
they were just all negative. I didn't want to read 7 negative bad reviews. So
What I found of them, yeah, there was not a lot of nothing promising about them. Right, no, that's about it. I'm just going to use the last end bit of this to raise a little bit of awareness about a friend of mine named Simon who had a brain tumor several years back and had radiotherapy and surgery where they removed part of his skull to remove this thing from it, and he was fine and stuff, but now it's back and it's in his brain and they can't get it out and stuff now. So there is a GoFundMe that we are supporting and giving money to. I'll put it in the show notes if you want to go and give him some money. You don't have to, it's fine, but we'll never charge you for this. So that money that you would have never given us, give it to someone good, innit?
yeah,
And that's, in conclusion, that was it. In conclusion, that was 2020's Love Second Chance. Your favourite lines from the film?
Do you
Glam,
like
flops
me?
and glamour?
These fabric. This fabric. Sorry, Brennan.
It's fine. Yeah, no.
I was like, oh, I've just closed my notes and trying to get it back up again.
No, it's fine. Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Call me Mr. Bombastic.